Okay, here we go. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Friday, June 19th public meeting of the Kingston City Land Bank's Acquisition, Disposition, and Construction Committee. My name is Mike. I serve as the moderator for this call. We do ask that members of the public limit their comments to no more than 2 minutes per speaker. The chair of this meeting is absent for the beginning of the meeting, but has instructed us to commence. So I recommend we do so using the agenda that was circulated prior. And with that, I would ask if Owen, you would jump in with the construction updates.
Sure. So we now have building permits for the renovations at all 6 properties. I think since the last time this committee met, we've done the asbestos abatement and closed out the asbestos permits. Those were holding up last 2 permits being pulled. Now we have those. We are under contract on all 6 houses, under what the limits that the board had approved for those contracts. And I feel pretty good about contracts and what we have captured in them. We had our first requisition at Chapel Street this month. And we just signed contracts on Stefan and Gil this morning, essentially, right? I'll pull up the summary sheet that I sent around, but this is like today's version because it includes the last 2 contracts now. This is truncating off the cents of the dollars and cents, these top ones, but basically these are our this is our like our project total for the construction under original contract. We have no change orders that have been signed. We've got a small change order that's been approved, but not in contract. And so not very much of the contingency expended, but we just started the project. And just to clue in, like, I think we've talked overall about schedule, but we've got 3 houses to be finished at the end of January of next year, 1 in February, and then 2 houses, the last 2, which are the ones that really get started at the beginning of next year, to be finished in the summer. And on track with schedule because we just started. Questions about what's going on with these rehabs? Should I go on to Murray Street or?
Sure. I would just want to note and celebrate that this is by far our largest amount of construction activity we've ever had underway at one time. So it's a great milestone. And
Yeah.
Thank you, Owen.
Great job managing it.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And one last thing, Owen, would you mind sending me what you just showed so I can put that in the board package if you think that's the current version that should go in?
Okay, sure thing. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Now let's do Murray. And we'll come back to financing for the rehabs.
Murray Street, I don't remember where the plumbing fell. I guess last month we just approved it. And so the underground plumbing work happened. That all went smoothly. Electric is disconnected. Maybe that was already done last month, but we have asbestos monitor hired. The demolition contractor has their permits submitted. They've done notifications with the state around the asbestos demo or the demo that could include asbestos, and so we're shooting for a week from Monday. So Not the 29th of July is like roughly, but right now, basically we're pending permits by the city. So we're paying attention to that and don't think there's anything that's going to hold that up, but otherwise all the other players are ready to go. So yeah, early next week I'm going to go around knocking on doors and um, make sure people have a couple days heads up that we're going to be doing this.
And so the city knows this is happening, like they're in the loop, or no?
We've applied
'Cause
for permits and
Yeah,
they had offered funds to pay for the work, so they're
okay, great.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just curious what the feel was of like, are they excited about it or are they just like neutral? Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Sure.
I think the neighbors are excited to see this progress as well. So for what that's worth.
Has
I
it
think
been posted like on a flyer? So, like how does what's the protocol? Like, do you have to let them know by like in person or do you have to?
Yeah, my door knocking next week is a sort of courtesy heads up. And
Right.
then there's for the demolition itself, they have a protocol of how they communicate with the next door neighbors, and they can either they basically either have to sign waivers or they can let certain things be done to like protect the borders of the properties. So but basically
Okay.
the demolition contractor is who's doing those communications, because they're the company that's like responsible for following these mostly asbestos related rules. And just as a reminder, with this house, this is like the first time we've done this where like I keep saying the word asbestos, but we haven't tested this house for asbestos. We're
Mhm.
we're doing demolition with the assumption that there might be asbestos somewhere in there. Instead of paying to clean the place out, paying to test it for asbestos, doing asbestos abatement, and then demolishing it, we're basically doing extra careful demolition in order to avoid those couple of steps. So I don't know that there's asbestos in there. It's just like you have to assume that there could be.
I did see Aaron jump on for a second, but then he hopped back off. So, and he can, well, here he comes, maybe. Hi, Aaron.
Sorry, I'm so late.
No, it's all good. Just to bring you up to speed, Owen had just taken us through the construction updates for the rehabs and then also the Murray update. And so we were going to jump in with Kyle to the financing update for the rehabs.
Great.
If that's okay with you.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Kyle, take it away.
Thanks. So this is a updated version from the version I sent around to everyone. So Mike, I'll send you the most recent version. I just incorporated the final dynamism numbers that we got in recently before I distributed the last update, or sorry, after I distributed the last update. So this is the summary of all of the requisitions we've made to date on the AHRP homes. You'll see here, we've entirely requisitioned funds from LBI to pay for the project costs. That's our goal, is to spend down the LBI money as soon as possible. We've got a $2.6 million allocation, 2.2 million to spend. Just want to note that Owen's latest updates, the work that we've done at Chapel, and a few other costs, we're going to be requisitioning them next week. So this just summarizes the funds we've requisitioned to date. It doesn't include the pending GC payments and a few other items here. So that number should go up significantly after Rec 6 next week. But yeah, basically this is all pre-development work on the site. It represents some of the asbestos work, or almost all of it, and yeah, on track. Goal is to keep pulling from LBI as much as possible, draw that down as soon as we can. But yeah, can answer any questions people have them.
Hmm.
Great.
Yeah, no question.
Nope, and for me either. So, Mike, so what's sorry, go ahead. You tell me what's next because I missed the beginning. You tell us
Sure.
what's next.
Happy to. Before the meeting started, Aaron, I just added context for why I feel it's relevant and appropriate to request executive session for discussion of two topics related to our response to the city's RFEI on the Grand Slam bar and a new program from the state. The reason being that both of which would potentially financially impact our competitive advantage if they were to be something that was discussed publicly. So with everyone's approval, I would just request you consider entering into executive session for these final two agenda items.
I'll make a motion.
Yes, I second that motion.
I'm in favor.
All in favor?
We're unanimous. And now
Glad
we're
you
out of
all
executive
agreed on that.
session. We're back in committee and we are done with committee. So on that, we are adjourned.